is thankful to Dr. Miki Mehta for sparing a time with us in this pandemic and uncertain period. So there is no question of any guideline on anything from me. Means today we are 100% surrendered to the Dr. Miki Mehta. Whatever he will guide, we will follow that, and we will try to come out from this pandemic and unprecedented situation. I'm not taking much time. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much, Mr. Miki.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
So friends, we have, to me and some of my close friends, a friend, philosopher and guide in Dr. Miki Mehta, a global leading holistic health guru and a corporate life coach, and a go-to man, at least for the Zoroastrian community over the last several years. And now I think every Indian counts on him for any sort of guidance. He's a recipient of the Health and Wellness Icon of India's award by Economic Times and is amongst 100 most impactful wellness leaders of the world, as announced at the Global Wellness Conclave in 2018. The first personal trainer of India and the first fitness columnist and the first fitness TV and radio presenter. So what a pleasure and what a wonderful opportunity for us today.
Thank
The
you.
author of two very successful books, Shunyam Quotient and Lose Weight, Gain Shape, with 5 more books in pipeline. So Miki, are you going to ask any questions and the winners will get these books? I have always lost out.
We can certainly do that, Dara. I'm very comfortable with that.
I remember in one of the programs, you asked a lot of questions, but I just couldn't make it,
Acha, okay.
He has been invited to speak at the Harvard University, at IITs and IIMs across the world. The only one in India to have an honorary double doctorate in holistic health and life science for integrated medicine. He has the rare distinction of training the police, the army, the navy, and the air force. And now he has volunteered to train the medicine manufacturers.
Yes. Yes.
Recently joined to support the government's Fit India movement. An author, a poet, philosopher, the brand, the institute, the legendary Dr. Miki Mehta, who gets you energized, naturalized, optimized, maximized, wellness revolutionized, and gets you Mickey-mized. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these few words, I have great pleasure in introducing my very dear friend, yours, mine, and ours, Dr. Miki Mehta. So, Miki, thank you once again, and over to you.
Okay,
can you mute everybody? Dara,
one
can you
request.
mute everybody? Can you mute everybody?
Yeah.
George will do that. George, can you mute everybody, please?
Don't mute yourself, huh, George? Okay. So, one request. Don't call me doctor. This is Mickey Mouse in the house. And we are going to have some mischief. We are going to have some fun. So, let me start with my opening statement today, that everybody is talking crazy about the new normal. As if worrying about COVID-19 was not enough. Now people have started worrying about the new normal. Okay, as if worrying about COVID-19 was not enough, now people have started talking about herd immunity. So human madness, the madness of the human society, is because of the information we are fed, indoctrination that happens through social media and our electronic media. If we really were to very consciously choose the feed of information that we want to process, we will not be in the state of paranoia, which makes us in turn a paranoid humanoid. Now the new normal is actually going to be the old normal. I'll tell you why. We used to eat at home. We've started eating at home again. We used to participate in making of the food and picking up vegetables and picking up our grocery. We've started doing that again. We had forgotten that. We used to wash our clothes. So in the absence of the buys, Or if the washing machine doesn't work, we have to do that again. We have to wash our dishes. Jhadu pota, we are doing that again. We used to spend a lot of quality time with our family, which we are doing again. We used to communicate and express our deep desires, concerns, and our experiences and share them with the family, which had stopped for almost maybe 70, 80 years. We will do again, and we are doing again. So, we used to be exercising at home 100, 150 years back, and we will do that again. Okay, so eating food at home, exercising at home. We used to be having family prayer room and family prayers together, and we will start doing that again. So faith will unite us, or maybe fear will unite us, whichever way. Thank you, COVID-19, for bringing back the old normal and awakening mankind to reality once again. We had simply forgotten to live like a human. So that was the new normal is going to be old normal. Now questions, please.
I just like to introduce you to the crowd. Mickey, some of the people here already know you, like Mr. Yogan Majmudar. We have some of our past presidents of IDMA, heads of companies, all of them in the crowd. So now I request everybody, if you have a question, you could just raise your hand, and I would then allow you to speak. So would you like to go through some more, Mickey, and then take the question?
I think Bharat Shah Bhai, he has a question. So let's start.
So, Bharat Bhai, yeah.
Doctor, you said I should not call you doctor.
Mickey Mouse in the house.
Can you say something about this vegetarian or Shakahari?
Okay. So, in the Hindu Sanskriti of our Hindu Sanatan Dharma, which is supposed to be a way of life and not a religion. In our Hindu Sanatan Dharma Sanskriti, Sattva Gun was very important for Rishi Munis. Mahavir, Buddha, Rishi Munis, Sadhu, Sants. So they were always about Sattva Gun. Now Sattva Gun is about empathy, compassion, benevolence, philanthropy, sharing, caring, forgiving, blessing. Now these are the bhavas, the gunas, sanskaras and bhavas of the most refined human being. Now the human being can only get there, Radhar, with a Shuddha Shakahari Sattvic Bhojan. Shuddha Shakahari Sattvic Bhojan. Now Shakahari, because vegetables cleanse you, fruits heal you, dry fruits, nuts, seeds, condiments and herbs, they fortify. Cornell, Harvard, Stanford and any other medical college have never published any paper on meat eating healing any disease. But there are abundant papers published in medical journals where vegetarianism heals and supports health. To my best knowledge, Tata Memorial Hospital has become vegetarian. Okay. Now, vegetarianism is a way of life and it is catching up again in the West. But we have started aping them. Jains have started eating chicken. They have started drinking. And it took Pythagoras 6,000 years before Christ. He had come to India. He learned Jainism. He went back and spoke on Jainosophy. He was so impressed that it is so scientific. So that's one take. Look at Italy, what happened to Italy because of pasta, pizza, penne. The hardest hit country because food habits are completely wrong. Look at the maximum psychiatric patients in the West because they don't believe in pranayama. They believe in Bhais Munda training, gym. They don't believe in yoga, the seat of awareness, the seat of consciousness. स्वयं में स्थित, स्वयं में उपस्थित, स्वयं की उपस्थिति, जागृति, बोध, सजग होना, ध्यानपूर्वक, ज्ञानपूर्वक, धारणा, साधना. So India knows that. And we are the great grandchildren of our Rishi Munis. It is there inside us, we've forgotten. Let's find it again. Let's rediscover. So vegetarianism is nothing but which makes you a human being which is evolved to heightened values of life, which does not pose a threat or danger to mankind or the environment, which remains in harmony within and without, where the two polarities on Shiva Shakti, Yin Yang, Chandra Surya, complement each other and they are not in conflict with each other. The conflict divides the human being and duality comes. Dvand comes, Dvait comes. But Advait comes with Shakahari, Shuddha. And with that will come Siddhis, Vak Siddhi, Vachan Siddhi, Karya Karam Dharam Siddhi, and Shuddhikaran. So you and me are the ancestors of Buddha, Mahavira, Shiva, Muhammad, Krishna, Christ, Savitri, Saraswati, Lakshmi. And we can all be that. We are Zarathustra. We are gods in seed form. They were all humans, but they nurtured, they blossomed. Every human mind, body, spirit is a potential garden and an orchard. Garden, colorful flowers and fragrant life. Orchard, colorful fruits and sweet life. So, be a Shakahari, serve yourself, serve this universe, save the environment. You know something? Einstein came out with a very good theory called pain wave theory. Pain wave theory of Einstein suggested that the collective agony of the collective environment, including trees, including birds, bees, animals, when they are slaughtered, when they are killed, the collective pain translates into tsunamis, volcanoes, tornadoes, because it's this harmony, acrimony. The harmony of the magnetic field when disturbed creates acrimony, hostility, coronavirus. Right?
Yeah. So now that we're on the topic of food, Mickey, can you tell us the relationship between food and immunity?
So it is very simple. Humans don't watch what they are putting in their mouth. There comes a smiler, naughty man. So we must be extremely conscious and aware as to what we are eating. And when awareness comes and automated eating process is cut off, trust me, 90% of the junk you will stop eating for the next 3, 4, 6 months, and in 6 months you will eat 100% purity. Awareness. Now, nonsense food is acidic in nature. Meat is primarily acidic in nature. And science will tell you that there is an enzyme called uricase which used to be available in the primitive man who was hunter and killer, hunter and gatherer, is no more secreting in the human body to neutralize the uric acid. So, vegetarianism is the evolution of civilization. So, because it is alkaline in nature and health and healing is akin to alkalinity, to be alkalized. Okay? Your breathing can alkalize you. Your Anulom Vilom Nadi Shodhan can reduce your acidity. Your sitting in quiet silence and simply restoring the breath rhythm can make you more alkaline. Now acidity creates inflammation of the stomach. In the last 20 years, the mind-gut axis is being established with Ayurveda spoke 10,000 years back. The mind-gut axis which talks about the flora. The mind-gut axis which talks about probiotics. And now it talks about, there's a microbiomes, which are 100 times more than your cells in the body. It's in the last 10 years. So, vegetarian eating, alkaline eating, raw eating, of course after cleaning well, makes you alkaline. Alkaline food keeps you calm, cool in your stomach, your mind calm, cool. So mind-gut axis is established. Alkaline food also allows you creative process, straight thinking, no vicious thinking. Alkaline food, you'll be surprised, gives you sattva gun, and sattva gun in turn will weed out kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madha, maya, matsara. Pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth. So when negative emotions are weeded out, the disease doesn't manifest, because the disease in reality is seeded in the subconscious personality and the manifestation happens in the body. So Ayurveda, when it looks at any disease, it treats the personality disorders. It looks into kama, krodha, lobha, moha. So it took a long time for modern medicine to recognize that pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth can give you ulcers, constipation, blood pressure problems. It took science a long time, modern science. But our Rishi Munis understood it. So, food which is alkaline, which is as much in the wholesome, raw state, which in turn influences your mind, which in turn influences the processes of your metabolism, which in turn stimulates your endocrine, because you are quiet and peaceful from inside, you're happy from inside, your endocrine works at the most heightened level. And you're clean from inside. So endocrine is responsible for your immunity because of hormones, secretion of balanced hormones. And every system is purified because of good eating. So purification leads to immunity. Every system is regulated because of good eating. So regulated system translates into immunity, and every purified food, wholesome food translates into being fortified. So when you're fortified also, that's also translates into immunity for humanity. Get immunized, get Mickey-mized.
Yeah, so now we have a question from one of the attendees, Pooja Dubey. Pooja, can you speak? Can you ask your question?
Pooja ji. I think you guys can continue till Pooja comes online.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, okay, the next question that I have here is, you already told us what are the things we can do to improve our immunity.
Yep.
Now, you see this lockdown, we have had over 69 days of everybody being tied up.
Oh my God, you've been counting days.
So the next question is, how do we keep our mind at rest? Being all tied up and all clustered up in our houses. So, how do you recommend that we keep our mind at rest? Because, you said mind is medicine. So
correct. So let me tell you that the word mind is actually a very more likely a Western phenomena. Okay. In India, you call it drashtabhav, sakshi, witnessing value, that which watches without judgmenting, that which watches without aligning and attaching and latching on. Okay, so let me tell you, mind is a negative phenomena. Your mind is present either in the past or in future. But in right now, current moment, only your awareness is present. So when the West says mindfulness, they are referring to rather mind full of awareness minus of junk thoughts. So empty mind is actually a full mind. So when the mind is completely empty, so I always tell people, empty the mind and mind the emptiness. Don't let it get cluttered again. Then, now you must understand, how does a mind take birth? We have 5 senses. Now these 5 senses are running like horses in every other direction 360 degrees. Now when they are galloping, they are collecting information and they are bombarding you with information. Information creates perceptions. And when these perceptions are not filtered through the right lenses, they create confusion. And they completely block the clarity of the mind. Now, 5 senses are capable of giving you 1,000,000 perceptions at a time, every nanosecond. Only 5 seconds. Even 1 sense is capable of giving you 1,000,000 perceptions every nanosecond. Now, can you imagine when you get fragmented bits and bits of information which cannot be handled? The mind is fragmented, broken into pieces. Meditation is a prakriya to allow these broken pieces to get synthesized and woven on one fabric, and 5 senses become one common sense. Because you allow all your senses not to work individually, independently, but work as a team collectively. So intellect translates into intelligence when they come on one fabric of wisdom. And when all fragmented pieces join together and settle the chaos, clarity emerges. Complexities are settled, vision emerges. Lethargy is settled, enthusiasm emerges. Ego settles, empathy, compassion, sympathy, benevolence emerges. Okay? Inertia settles and productivity emerges.
Fine. Thank you very much. Now, this is going to be a tough question, Mickey, for you, me, and Dara to answer.
Bring it on.
See, in the pharma industry, we are told that the day we have a solution to hair loss and baldness, we will be a $1 billion industry.
Okay.
And you see, the quality of hair is always considered as a index of your health. Now, this is not applicable to everybody. So tell us something about, hair and body and health. I'm going through this crisis myself.
Okay, doesn't look like though.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you that primarily there are Ayurveda sees, naturopathy sees 3 primary indexes for wellness and well-being. Okay, the first one is, if hunger is lost, you must know, hunger and appetite, that you are unwell. If your sleep is lost, you must know that you are unwell. And the third one is a little funny but very practical. If your sexual libido is lost, you must know that you are unwell. I don't think that's the case with Dara, right? Okay, so now coming to the point. Now, food primarily drives growth hormones. Now, what complements the food to drive growth hormones? On one side, there is breath management. On the other side, there is calibrated challenge to the body. Exercise. So, regulated breath and exercise put together manage and increase growth hormones, human growth hormones. Your pituitary and your pineal together, along with all other endocrine glands, when they come aligned and orchestrate in yoga, especially in inversions, where more blood goes to your scalp. Okay? And when you have food like walnuts, sesame seeds, peanuts, chana, the protein of plant-based natural kind, which is not toxic, non-toxic protein. Cow's milk, देसी काउस घी, अगर घी हो तो देसी गाय का हो वरना ना हो, जैसे मूछे हो तो नथु लाल जैसी हो वरना ना हो. So Now, when all these things come together, along with meditation, shavasana, and very good Bringara oil or good formulas of oil, trust me, your hair growth will gradually start again. So I must tell you, I'll give you my example. Because I've put a lot of gel, it's flat. But around 10 years back, I had lost a lot of hair. And 60% of my growth is back today. When it's dry, it is a mop. Because I've recently cut it and I've put gel. So I've got my 60% growth in the last 10 years. And everybody can endeavor at your pace. There is no magic wand. कि आज गेहूं डाला, कल अनाज निकला. So it is a process. Life is a process. Complete process. Go through the process. दही जमना चाहिए. दही को भी 12 घंटे लगते हैं जमने के लिए. फ्रूट को 1-2 साल लगते हैं पकने के लिए. और बाल को 35-40 साल लगते हैं पकने के लिए.
Fine. So good, Mickey. I think we have Mr. Yogin Majumdar in the crowd. Yogin bhai, can you come in?
Yes, can you hear me?
योगिन भाई एकदम मजामा.
Mickey, I just wanted to say hello to you.
હા એકદમ મજામાં. તમારું નામ જ યોગીન છે ને, તો યોગ સાથે મારો સંબંધ બહુ જૂનો છે.
આપણે 10 days twice Wellington Club was first and today again.
હા અરે વાહ, yes યોગીન ભાઈ, very good.
Now you recognize who is the Yogin.
એકદમ બોલો ભાઈ.
Good to hear you again, and this time with our friends with the pharma.
ગુજરાતીઓ સાથે તો મારું એટલું સંબંધ છે કે ઠાકર ભોજનાલયમાં વીકમાં એક વખત જમવાનું થાય. સ્વાતિ સોહમમાં બી જાઉં જમવા, ને પારનામાં ખીચડી કરીને રેસ્ટોરન્ટ છે ત્યાં બી જાઉં.
અરે વાહ.
ને મારા ગુજરાતી મિત્રો મને ઘરે જમણ મોકલે પણ ને ઘરે બોલાવે પણ.
બસ હવે next time after the lockdown is over we'll have to અમે બોલાવશું તમને.
હા પણ ધારા સાથે જોઈએ.
ધારાને પણ બોલાવવાનો છે.
બધાને સાથે બોલાવજો.
ધારાએ ખાવાનું ગુજરાતી.
બોલો જી.
બસ that's I just wanted to say hello.
હા તો બસ હલો, તોડી નાખ તબલા, ફોડી નાખ પેટી, એકદમ. બાકી બોલો ગુજરાતી. તમે આ છો, જૈન છો, કોણ છો તમે? વૈષ્ણવી છો ભાઈ? વૈષ્ણવ છો. ગુડ લક.
But not anymore. That is all the પરદાદાની વાત. આપણે તો ઇન્ડિયન છીએ.
એકદમ.
અને ગ્લોબલ સિટીઝન.
અરે નો વિભાજન. Global citizen. Very good. Let's all be one. Bolo ji.
Fine. So Dara, I think Dara come in.
Dara, now I have answered the hair question. Don't ask me again.
No. Mickey, some time ago in one of the wellness programs that I attended, you showed us some type of a breathing which is not the one we do regularly or which Shri teaches and all that. Can you show some demo on that? That was something very different. You said you can build a lot of immunity in that and all that.
Okay.
I think it will be very interesting.
When 69 days back, I like this figure 69, so I keep repeating. 69 days back when we were hit with COVID, a good, things keep happening to people who surrender. So a great idea came to my mind, that innovate a breathing technique which could build immunity, especially towards flu, COVID, corona, rhino flu, otherwise, so many flus. And otherwise also towards infection, germs and bacteria and viruses. So I came up with a word called poison bee. Prevention of infection, seeding, optimal nasal breathing. I'll repeat. Poison bee. Prevention of infection, seeding, optimal nasal breathing. Now this breathing is a stimulus. It's a stimuli. Okay? Stimuli to your respiratory tract, stimuli to your lungs, and stimuli to the mind-gut axis. So it goes like this. It is vigorous in nature to start with. It has two aspects. The first aspect is vigorous. समझ पा रही हूँ? Thoru Shembur aayo hai to don't mind. Now, so you do 20-30 times vigorous breathing, nose in, nose out, stomach in, chest up, chest down, but don't be very particular about these things. Focus more on nose in, nose out. After you do 30-40 times, thereafter do this. Now you breathe out from below your navel. When you are doing the vigorous breathing, it is shallow, only chest. You are stimulating your thymus gland. And what happens typically, your 5 lobes of your lungs get emptied. 2 on the left, 3 on the right. Okay, your adenoids behind your sinusitis, they drain the bacteria and germs. And in your sinusitis, when your body temperature goes beyond 96, 97, 98, the sinusitis dilate, heat is generated, and bacteria, germs, viruses are killed. And thirdly, your respiratory tract, your diaphragm movement up and down stimulates your endocrine system to increase the secretion of immunoglobulins, immunomodulators, your T cells, your B cells. Now, immunomodulators, if you go in the market, they could cost you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a vial. But here you can get it free. Free, ek pe ek free. So, this is the long and short of poison bee. It improves your digestive system, improves your cognitive stance. And I use poison bee with as many patients of cancer that I see, asthmatic patients, cancer patients, orthopedic convalescents, paralytical patients, HIV, all challenging patients with the grace of divine God and with the grace of naturopathy and with the grace of my fellow doctors, oncos, orthopedics, surgeons. Without their support, I wouldn't be able to do this because most Indian doctors and surgeons are first healers, then they are doctors. They are first human, then they are doctors. They are first a compassionate soul, then they are doctors. So 50% job is done with their soul and healing powers of their confidence. And the rest 50% is done by medical science. So I align with their 50% and they align with my 100%. And we become a team. And Indian doctors are, they really even pray for the patients. I have seen doctors, and I salute the medical professionals, it's a great boon, that when they go for pilgrimage, they pray and they do pujas and havans for their clients. And every bit of intention, prayer, faith, belief works. I'll tell you, Bruce Lipton is the leading biologist of the world. Now, he came up with a theory which Patanjali Sutra has been talking about since a long time and Ayurveda has been talking about since a long time. His theory is your belief can change your biology. It's nothing but, I put it in different words, your faith can change your physiology. Your breathing can change your hormonology. Your prayer and meditation can change your psychology. All tools of health and healing and transformation are there in our Sanskriti of India. We are the great grandchildren of Mahaviras, the Buddhas and the Krishnas and the whatever of the world. We are so empowered, enriched, and we could be invincible. Each one of us could be invincible. So coming to this point, that building immunity to invincible being is like walking into a COVID ward, staying with them for 21 days and coming out clean like a lotus in the muck. Walking into the COVID ward, hugging patients every day for 30 days and then coming out still being clean. There is a very good chance that COVID would have passed through most of the Indians, but because the immunity is high, it doesn't make a difference. Only compromised people become vulnerable hosts to it. Now let's understand what is the genesis and the anatomy of a virus. The genesis and the anatomy of a virus is nothing but a toxic purge from a toxic cell. Exogenous virus, endogenous viruses. Now, this particular corona is slightly speedy, slightly aggressive, but it is no different from other flu viruses, which latches on and multiplies. But if our cells are strong, if they don't get compromised, a virus cannot get Mickey-mized. You understand? So let me finish. Now I want to tell you the most beautiful part. From the time the first speck of life was found on the rims of a volcano, scientists call it, for the lack of a better name, chemolitho-autotrophic hyperthermophile. And from that point to billions of years, today we are superconscious human beings. And superconscious human beings, the IT technology has called consciousness like this. Let me tell you, how does an IT brain talk about consciousness and God? A-causal, non-local electromagnetic field of energy and information with self-referential cybernetic feedback loops. Science has to explain everything, no? So they will try. But nevertheless, now we are born of a mighty power for a mighty purpose. When Mother Nature reached the pinnacle of creation, when Mother Nature reached the pinnacle of creative existence, man was born. And when man reaches the pinnacle and crescendo of creative existence, God again can be born. So we are gods. We cannot be compromised by viruses and germs and diseases. Right? So we can reverse every ailment. We can reverse every disease. I just wish and pray that my Indian doctors turn more towards compassionate healing first, because their love and their faith. You know, when a patient calls the family doctor and says, "Tu fikar nahi kar, ouch, don't worry, I'll be there." The word "I'll be there" starts the healing process in the person. The belief can change the biology, the perception can change the physiology, faith can change the physiology. So the good doctors, I know of good doctors who are there, and I know of stupid doctors who will tell the patients, "Okay, son, you don't have more than 3 months now." He'll probably not survive 30 moments because he'll be gripped in fear. The whole system will collapse. But certain doctor will say, "Son, you have an opportunity of 3 months worth of life and your chances are 30%. People with 5% have survived. So you are 6 times higher than that. Come on, let's do it together." That's the beauty. So only in India you will find such lovely doctors who will say, "Don't worry. We will pray and we will walk this path and we will try till the last breath." And 99% they succeed. Thank you, the medical fraternity. Thank you, doctors, for being nice, healers, and compassionate humans.
Yeah, so one more question, Mickey. You say you have already told us about eating right.
Yeah.
Now you see, the nature of all our jobs here in the pharma industry requires us to travel a lot.
Yeah.
So,
not anymore. Abhi band ho jayega sab.
So we believe that in a couple of months, everything will come back to normal, and we will still have to travel for various reasons, for sales, to our factories. So how do you advise us, to go ahead with what are the precautions we would have to take, in terms of prevention and just care that we can take, and in the routine that we can follow in terms of, travel and getting back, and what will help us in these times?
So let me tell you that, the change of times will change the way human adapts and changes behavior also. It's a new learning curve, a new learning process for us. So my business, which was very much personal touch, has 70% converged into online consulting with people. But wherever there is critical care needed, I go personally. I don't fear infection. Now, let me bring one thing to your mind. Surgeons and doctors for 300 and 400 years till the time we know of imperial and empirical medicine, when they go and visit ICUs and or post surgery or post ICU, they go and visit in wards. Have you seen them wearing masks? Ever? This is madness. Okay? Wear mask only if the criterion is to wear a mask in the plane. But otherwise, don't wear a mask. Mask compromises your intake of oxygen. Mask also builds your cortisol level in your body, because when your body senses that enough air is not going inside, the body builds a fight-flight reaction, and from growth mode, it goes into fight-flight mode. And in the fight-flight mode, your viscera gets constricted. Your livers, your kidneys, your pancreas don't work to the full functional capacity. And when that happens, all focus is there on the blood circulation on the extremities. So heart overbehaves. Lungs and your pulse goes high. So that stresses you out and depletes your energy. So don't get into fear and psychosis, phobia mode. Yes, now let's come into, rather than externally, do everything internally. That doesn't mean you don't take a bath. Huh? कि मिक्की ने बोला सिर्फ internal करो, बाहर का मत करो. Okay, so internal cleansing processes of your body, mind, soul, spirit. Aligning, integrating. Health, you know the real meaning of health? I'm so sorry to say, pharma industry is misusing the word health. Medicine and health has got no connection. Health is the healing process of the body alongside with nature, natural laws and natural therapies. When you take sunshine, health is happening. When you're doing pranayam, health is happening. But when you're taking a crocin, health is not happening. When you're taking an injection, health is not happening. Cure is happening. But healing is not happening. See, when your bone breaks, the orthopedic surgeon aligns it. But internal body's processes will fuse it. So that is healing. Health is healing. The etymology of the word health is heal thy, heal them, heal thou. Right? Its health is organic unity, and organic unity is immunity for humanity. So, take care of your food, what you're eating. Carry a lot of til laddus, Rajgira laddus with gur. Gur is very good for immunity. Then, take sattu, chana gur ghee. Then take shengdana chikkis. Okay? Then carry your akhrot, carry your dates. Carry your santras, carry your apples, carry your naspati. Every fruit which can stay 3, 4, 5 days. Carry your jamruk, your peru. Okay? Don't carry bananas, they'll smell. So carry every such fruit which is very practical. Carry dry fruits. Okay? And that's your food. Then in your hotel room also, step out and go to the garden and do your breathing, do your stretching and exercise, walk, run. Don't run, sorry, jog. Because jogging brings rhythm, running breaks your rhythm. Because running is a strain on you and jogging aligns you. Because jog is like a trot, rhythm, kadam tal. Jog is not gallop. Gallop is breaking the rhythm. Because when there is strain, the rhythm is broken. So, Indians will only jog. And when you jog, you're connected to the sky, akasha, ether. Then you're connected to the trees, the chlorophyll. Then you're connected to the chirping of the birds. Then you're connected to the infinite lawns. You're connected to the fresh air. And you experience the symbolism or archetypal energies of ether, earth, sky, water, and they translate into your energy because you are made of them. You are also made of elements. The same tattva, the same pancha mahabhutas, the same dhatus are all in you. All our 95% genes are same, only that 5% differential variance makes you the human. Whether it's a vegetable or a mineral or it's a metal, most creation, 90% of our genes would be same. But I guess I'm told that potatoes and humans share 95% common genes. The 4% variance makes you a human.
Fine. So do we have any more questions?
I have no question, but I think Deepnath ji is there.
Yeah, okay.
Ask him if he has any question.
Yeah, okay. So let me put Deepnath ji on. Deepnath ji, can you speak up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
हाँ जी बोलो.
I have no specific question. It's very nice to hear you. It's just that Bengalis are very strict non-vegetarians, so I have to have second thoughts. But I am also gradually making a shift and a switch, slowly. But I enjoy vegetarian food, and I am making the switch is becoming more vegetarian these days.
So tell me, Deepnath, when
Yes.
you say strict non-vegetarian, which means if somebody doesn't eat non-veg, you cane them or something like that? You're strict, very strict.
No, I just tried to be a little funny by saying we are strictly non-vegetarians.
But you know something about the
Love
psychology.
non-veg.
Something about the psychology of being strict. When you are strict, you constrict.
It's good to listen to people like you, so you learn how to relax more, how to unconstrict or deconstrict yourself. And I 100% agree with you that there has been a COVID triggered new normal, which actually is the old normal.
Absolutely.
Many of us are actually enjoying doing things which we had stopped doing.
Correct.
And I just hope that we will come out of this wiser. We'll definitely come out of this wiser and more resilient. And we will end up attaching more importance to matters about which we had forgotten.
You know, Sigmund Freud's theory of evolution is extremely rudimentary and basic. His theory is that evolution means survival and adaptation. But if you really see the wisdom, ancient wisdom, traditional theory of evolution is evolving. Evolving. That is why only in Hindi language, which is Sanskrit language, there is a word called Anubhav. So Anubhav is your experience, and Anubhuti is experiencing, constantly evolving out of your Anubhav. So experience translates into evolution. Experience translates into evolution. Evolution translates into scaling higher. Only a man is capable of rising above gods and falling below animals. So you, in your consciousness, if you expand, you can climb above gods. Mm-hmm. But if you don't expand, you can fall below even the mineral world, forget animals.
Mm-hmm. So whatever I have heard from you during the last almost 1 hour, so I only have the habit of trying to conclude in certain things. So my learning has been that right eating, right breathing, and right thinking.
Bongali Babu, you've hit the nail on the head, Bongali Babu. See, the name Deepnath suggests Deep means Jyoti, Deep means light, and Nath means the king of light. There you are. And then you are a Roy, which is royal, and Chaudhary, which is a boss. My God, you are all in one. You are all in one.
No, I was just trying to summarize what I learned from you, and I have really learned it's right eating, right breathing, and right thinking. And I'll try to practice that to the best of my abilities.
I mean, there are other things of doing the right way which I can't tell you and to show you, so forgive me for that.
No, as you said, that you must have appetite, you must sleep well, and you must have the right urge. I also... Thank you very much.
And every morning you should be able to easily purge. Bowel movements, that is also a sign of good health.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Deepnath. Hope to see you in Calcutta someday.
Sure, sure. We'll travel to Mumbai and we'll meet there too.
We will happily, and if there's anything I can do for your family wellness, guys, feel free to get in touch with me. Take my number from Dara. The
Sure.
best time to get in touch with me is evenings. After 6 o'clock, you can leave me WhatsApp messages, and it normally would take me maximum of 4 messages till I call you back. But I will certainly call you back and give me the reference of Dara and reference of IDMA.
No, it has been a lot of fun the way you put things. So we feel energized, we feel happy, and the humor element is really very, very welcome.
See, I am learning from all the gurus of the world. Baba Ramdev एक आंख मार के सबको हंसते हंसते सिखाते हैं. So I've learned from him. Sadhguru ji हंस हंस के सिखाते हैं. So Sadhguru ji, Baba Ramdev, Ma Hansa ji of Yoga Institute, BKS Iyengar साहब, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Deepak Chopra, they are all my gurus. अगर उन लोगों को और मुझे साथ में इस दुनिया में खुला छोड़ दो, we will remove every disease from earth. Every disease we will eradicate from earth. 7 billion human beings will beat, their heart will beat only with wellness, not with madness. This is my, stupid challenge, but this is my challenge as a human being.
Great. We feel energized. We feel energized. Thank you so much.
Immunized.
One quick question, which is interesting to me that has just come up. You're talking of
Yeah.
vegetarianism.
Yeah.
Can you give us some advice? What was there's this new craze of being vegan. And vegan says we avoid milk products. So the question is from Mr. Venkatraman of Lupin. He says whether this new vegan concept is better than being vegetarian.
So, I have heard a rumor, I have not verified it, that even President Reagan, after his cancer, became vegan.
Right.
Okay, so what is happening is, so there are very many schools of thoughts. So the schools of thoughts are very clear. There is one school of thought in the medical fraternity which says that whenever you are under attack of any life-threatening ailments, become a vegetarian fast. And the other school of thoughts, which are other doctors and specialists and oncos, they will say, no need, eat, drink what you want. So we are divided between 2 schools of thoughts even in the medical fraternity. Now, my alignment is with the school of thought where doctors say that start eating clean if your body has to recover faster. I support that school of thought. That cleansing and purification of the body fastest will bring down the strength of the bacteria, germs and infection in the body. A clean body increases your capacity to fight. A clean body releases and liberates a lot of energy. A clean body, regulated body, will increase your biofunctions, biochemistry, bioelectricity, biomagnetism, psychoneuro, muscular, endocrino, coordination. It stimulates better hormonology, a clean body. So with that school of thought, veganism comes in a little higher aspect of cleanliness. 0 animal products. So don't leave any chance of animal products contaminating your body in some way or the other. Although Ayurveda says कि देसी गाय का दूध, देसी गाय का घी, मक्खन, dahi, छाछ is very nutritive and it is medicinal as well. It's curative as well. And I align with that theory. But whenever I'm treating cancer patients, I don't give them dairy products. Only when I'm treating cancer patients. Because every dairy product is more vulnerable to being carcinogenic. And the cancer germs thrive on animal products. So meat eaters, fish eaters, eggs, especially when the contamination in the antibiotics, the lowest grade antibiotics are used in animals in India because the controls are not tight. The lowest grade of hormones are given to animals to become large and huge in weight. And the worst conditions of where they live, caged, tight, guttersome, shitting there, breathing there, and they are stressed out because they are cage tight. And the fear and release of fear hormones. Further, when they are going close to the abattoir, they release a lot of toxins in the blood also. Plus, from the time they are killed to the time they come to your plate, it's 7, 8, 10 days sometimes. Sometimes 2, 3 days. Then they sit in your stomach, become your guest for at least a week or 10 days because your stomach is not designed to push out meat. So there are very many, and it putrefies and decomposes. So veganism, no animal product, and no giving rise to any bacteria, etc. Bacteria, germs, proliferation.
Fine. So we are getting many more questions, but this will take 2 more. And one is, can you tell us something now from food to fasting? Tell us something about fasting.
Fasting is nothing but slowing. Because fast life is a life which consumes your energy fast. When we say, no, he has a fast life, he drinks a lot, he smokes a lot, he's abusing his body a lot, he's on a fast lane. But actual fasting, Britishers had no sense to put right words to right meaning. Fasting is actually slowing. So, in fasting, cleansing happens. When you don't put anything in your body, you give that gap and space to your body to reorganize, reorient its intelligence to bring back its immunity up. Self-healing, self-cleaning, self-adaptation, self-fortifying, self-regulatory processes happen. Which is why Jains, when they do it in Pajushan, Muslims do it in Ramazan. Okay? Hindus also do it in Sawan. Christians do it in the Lent period. And Parsis do it in our Baman Mahina. Every religion has fasting learned from the Hindu Sanskriti. So fasting is when you cleanse, you are aligned with the divine. But when you are not cleansed and when you are full of toxicity, your focus, sincerity, shraddha, saburi, integration is disturbed. You cannot meditate, you cannot pray. Fasting is also a month. So when you cleanse your body, you cleanse your mind also. Of, once again, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Maya, Matsara. Let me remind you back in English. Okay, pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth. So fasting cleanses your mind, cleanses your emotions, your body. And when everything gets cleansed, your spiritual quotient goes high. And your awareness quotient goes high. So fasting is the new slowing down. Intermittent fasting, which the Westerners today are showing you, is nothing but the yogi's way of eating. Eat once in the golden hour of digestion, between 12 and 2 only. And rest of the time, whenever you're hungry, eat fruit, eat salad, coconut water, vegetable juice, kada, kava. Say kava, kava. So, you can do all these things. And okay, I certainly cannot say baba, baba, because babas will pounce on me कि मेरी मुर्गी ला, मेरा मटन ला, मेरी मच्छी फ्राई ला.
Okay, we have one last question. We'll allow Mr. Noshe Shroff. Mr. Noshe Shroff, you're on. Please speak.
George, you stole my thunder. You asked a question already about fasting.
Sorry. But
no, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
Noshe, ask me more.
No, I had this one question that I just wanted to know whether fasting is really good or whether it isn't. But you've given a very lucid explanation that fasting is essential.
Yeah.
Every religion does follow it.
Every religion.
Much, Mickey. Thank you very much, Dara, IDMA, and all the panelists for this lovely hour.
Thank you.
The panelists, let me make my humble submission that Indian Drug Manufacturers Association, I researched a lot and I figured that you are doing a lot of human service also and a lot of humanitarian service also in this time of crisis. So on the behalf of entire humanity, I bow before you. I'm grateful to you, and I'm grateful to the medical fraternity, Indian Medical Association, because the doctors have done the most wonderful jobs. So all my doctors, brothers and sisters, I bow before you in gratitude on behalf of God and mankind. That thank you very much. And a very good Sanskrit sloka comes to my mind with all these things happening. Asatoma satgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityoma amrutum gamaya. Everybody get energized, naturalize, optimize, maximize, internalize, eternalize, evolutionize, revolutionize, specialize, hypnotize, mesmerize, regularize, revitalize, get Mickey-mized.
Mickey-mized. Bharat Bhai, if you can kindly propose a formal vote of thanks.
My pleasure. Good afternoon, friends. Dipnath concluded so very well, but I fully agree all these goals. Knowingly, unknowingly, we have gone back to what we were doing or our forefathers were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind is medicine. That itself is such a nice topic. The medicine, what we make, gives us some relief sometimes. But if you train your mind, I think it gives you long time or lifetime relief. I do remember I was hearing Dr. Mickey, you did mention about meditation.
Haji.
In meditation, you said you shut your eyes, cut off your senses.
Correct.
You don't have to focus or concentrate.
Nothing.
It will happen naturally.
It will happen. Just breathe out everything.
Focus is more on nature.
Yes.
And I really appreciate. I do appreciate your anubhav. And we are expressing anubhuti.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I would like to thank IDMA for arranging such a nice, holistic health guru, Mickey.
Let's take this.
You don't tell me doctor, but I should tell you doctor twice because I learned from Dara that you are double doctor.
Mickey Mouse.
Dr. Mickey Mouse, thank you very much.
Bharat Bhai ne Dara for the upliftment of our Desi Bhai Ben and for the Swasth Bharat, Mast Bharat ki our PM is the only PM who's talking about wellness. Arogya Setu, Dudh Haldi, Ghee, Pranayam, Vyayam, Yoga, Ayurveda. And he is not the one who's showing how to wash hands. He's showing how to be well.
True.
Let's follow this.
Well, fantastic.
Much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Mickey. Thank you so much. We'll stay in touch. God bless. Thank you, George.
Love you, Dara. Love you, Bharat Bhai. Everybody, thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
You.
Keep well.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.